Hello, this is Katie at HB Risk. This tutorial will cover the options SP3 provides for determining structural responses and how to implement them. The first option that we have on the structural responses page is the simplified method per Fema P58. You may use this method through SP3 to determine the median story drift ratios, floor accelerations, and residual drifts for your building model. This method is applicable for buildings that have less than 15 stories, are regular in plan and elevation, and with ductility ratios less than 4. For detail on the method and more complete description of the buildings appropriate to use with it, please see the Fema P58 methodology document. We may also choose to use the extended simplified method, which the SP3 team has adjusted to deal with weak stories. This option provides the same information as the Fema P58 simplified method. Finally, we may also choose to use the results from our own response history analysis. The SP3 team is excited to announce that we have received $150,000 from the National Science Foundation to build a complete extended simplified method. This method will work for buildings with more than 15 stories, buildings with irregularities, and also buildings pushed farther into nonlinear response. Please look for this method to be available through SP3 in late 2015. For this tutorial, let's start by examining the Fema P58 simplified method. The simplified method will be run in both principal directions of the building. The period, yield base shear, yield story drift ratio, and first mode shape are the basic inputs that control the structural responses. The period is up to the user. However, if we want to just get a feel for what the period could be, we may choose to use the period suggestions. The yield base shear default depends upon the building type and expected strength. The yield story drift ratio is based on the building type. The mode shape is estimated using the method outlined in the paper Approximate Seismic Lateral Deformation Demands in Multi-Story Buildings by Miranda, 1999. We may choose to use the default as it is given. We may also adjust the mode shape using the Miranda method by opening the Advanced Options tab here. For more background on each input in this Advanced tab, please check out the tooltips. We could also estimate the mode shape by our own means and enter it directly in the mode shape table. Now we can simply press the Calculate button and review the structural responses. The response in each direction may be viewed one at a time by toggling the direction above each window back and forth. The response is also provided in table form beneath the graphical display. We can see this has provided us with the story drift ratio, peak floor acceleration, and max residual story drift ratio. Now let's say we're a little farther along in a design or analysis, and we have response history results that we'd like to use. Switching to the user-defined option, we can simply upload the results from our response history analysis. To get the format for the CSV file, we can download an example file, now we simply upload each of our results. We also have the option to include a user-defined EDP. We just add a new engineering demand parameter, provide a dimension. This is asking whether the EDP is defined per story as for story drift ratio or per floor as per peak floor acceleration. Let's say we're including wall rotations and give the dimension as stories and upload our last file. Now we can see our structural responses or engineering demand parameters. The last thing I would like to mention about the inputs for user-defined structural responses is the modeling uncertainty. This uncertainty is defined by the Fema P58 method based on modeling and construction quality. The default values assume average model and construction quality. For more information on the selection of modeling uncertainty values, please see the Fema P58 documentation. Similar to the hazard analysis, we can toggle between the methods for structural responses. However, only the active method for determining structural responses will be used in the analysis. In this video, we have reviewed how you may use the simplified method to define structural responses, and also how you may enter your own response history analysis results. Please check back with us shortly to see the updated simplified method that the SP3 team is developing. Thank you for spending your time with me on this video.